Have you ever stopped to wonder what your life will echo after you're gone? Not just the memories in the minds of those close to you, but the energetic imprint, the legacy you've been broadcasting into the universe all along. Most people live as if their daily choices are isolated moments, but the truth is far more profound. Every thought, every I am, every intention is carving a pattern in the quantum field that outlives the moment, And here's the revelation. You're not just passing through life, you are programming reality itself. The legacy you leave behind is not built only by material achievements or external success. It's shaped by the frequency you embody day after day. The question is, are you consciously creating that legacy? Are you unconsciously repeating old scripts that were handed to you? Scientists and mystics, from quantum physicists to ancient sages, converge on the same principle. Energy imprints reality. Think of the quantum field as a vast canvas. Most people are splashing random strokes on it without realizing the masterpiece or the mess they're leaving behind. But the ones who learn to hold the brush intentionally, those who align their inner identity with a chosen vibration, discover that the canvas begins to shift in their favor. This is why creating your legacy is not about waiting until the end of your life to look back. It begins now, because the field is responding now. Imagine that every word you speak today, every I am, is sending a ripple that your future self will have to live inside. When you say, I am tired, I am unlucky, I am not enough, you are unconsciously building a legacy of scarcity, limitation, and struggle. And the field, like an infinite mirror, will confirm it. But here, as the loop I want to open for you. What if you could reprogram your legacy, starting today, not by chasing achievements, but by altering the vibration of your identity? In a moment, I'll show you the exact mechanics of how the quantum field locks onto the frequency of your chosen self. But first, I want you to reflect. What words are you attaching to your I am every day? Because those words are already writing the story people will remember you by. This is where the science gets fascinating. Quantum physics shows us through the observer effect that reality collapses differently depending on who's observing. Now, imagine your observer identity as the director of your personal legacy. If that identity is tuned to fear, your legacy will echo fear. If it is tuned to abundance, your legacy will reverberate abundance. The field doesn't judge, it simply mirrors, And neuroscience agrees. The brain is not static, it rewires itself continuously through neuroplasticity. Every thought you repeat, every feeling you embody, creates new neural pathways. Over time, those pathways become highways, And those highways determine not only how you perceive life, but how you live it and how others remember you. Here's the trap. Most people use this power against themselves. They let old wounds, old beliefs, old I am not enough programs run their subconscious, and, without knowing, they etch a legacy of survival rather than creation. They leave behind echoes of fear instead of blueprints of possibility. But here, this shift we're going to explore together in this journey. Your legacy is not set in stone. It's set in frequency, and frequency can change in an instant. Right now, as you hear these words, your vibration is either reinforcing the old pattern or opening the door to a new one. The choice is already alive in this moment. So let me ask you, if the universe is already recording your frequency, what story do you want it to play back when your name is remembered? Stay with me, because in the next part, we'll explore how to identify the invisible programs that have been shaping your legacy without your consent, and how to interrupt them before they write another chapter you, Dan, T, want. But before we go there, breathe deeply, place your hand over your chest, and feel the truth of this. You are not broken, you are broadcasting. And what you broadcast today is what eternity will echo tomorrow. Think of your subconscious as the silent author of your story. Bruce Lipton explains that 95% of your daily actions and decisions are not coming from your conscious mind, but from the deep patterns programmed long ago. If those patterns are filled with scarcity, fear, or self-doubt, then, without realizing it, you're already shaping a legacy of limitation. And here is the sobering truth. People will not just remember what you did, they will remember the frequency you carried while doing it. Imagine someone who spent their whole life repeating phrases like, I am unlucky, I am always struggling, I am not enough. These words, repeated day after day, become more than passing thoughts. They become the blueprint of their nervous system, the vibration they broadcast to the field, and the field, faithful as always, reflects it back. Their life becomes evidence of their own words, and their legacy becomes the echo of those unconscious I am statements. But here's the paradox. The same mechanism that imprisons you can liberate you. Neuroscience calls it identity-based habit change. When you begin to think and feel from a future identity, when your I am shifts into alignment with a life you desire, your brain starts to rewire itself, as if that future is happening right now. New neural circuits fire, old circuits weaken. Your biology starts to believe in your chosen future more than in your remembered past. And quantum mechanics mirrors this truth. The double-slit experiment revealed that observation itself collapses infinite probabilities into a single reality. What most people miss is that your self-observation is doing this constantly. Every time you declare, I am, you're collapsing one version of reality instead of another. If you keep observing yourself as someone who's waiting, struggling, or not ready, you collapse timelines of waiting and struggle. Or when you observe yourself as already abundant, already loved, already powerful, the old probabilities lose power and the new ones solidify. Here, as the loop I want to open for you. Your legacy is being written not by what you hope for in the future, but by what you consistently declare in the present. So ask yourself, how many times a day are you unconsciously writing the wrong chapter? Later in this journey, I'll give you the practical tools to rewrite those declarations and stabilize your new identity. But first, you need to see how the subconscious hijacks your legacy when left unchecked. Let's make it practical. Picture a person who has repeated, I am bad with money for years. Even if they try affirmations like I am wealthy, the dominant subconscious program will override it. The field reads the stronger frequency, not the quick bursts of positive thinking. This is why your legacy cannot be changed by shallow affirmations alone. It shifts when you interrupt the old pattern and embody a new one until it becomes your default. One of the most effective methods is conscious interruption. The next time you hear yourself saying, I am tired or I am broke, don't force a fake positive like I am a millionaire right now. Your mind will reject it as false. Instead, pivot gently. I am restoring my energy, or I am learning to manage money with wisdom. These small shifts recalibrate your nervous system without triggering resistance. And over time, they open the door for stronger declarations like I am vibrant or I am abundant now. This is not wishful thinking. It's vibrational reprogramming. Every time you choose a new I am, you collapse a new reality. Each microshift is a vote for a different timeline, And the more consistent your votes, the faster the quantum field locks onto the new broadcast. This is how a new legacy is forged in grand gestures, but in the hidden frequency you hold between the lines of your daily life. And here, as the part that flips everything, your current reality is not your destiny, it's old data. It's the echo of past I am statements, both conscious and unconscious. If you don't like what your present looks like, don't panic. It's just yesterday's broadcast still playing out. Change your frequency today, and the field will begin shifting tomorrow, Now, let's loop forward. The next part, I'll reveal how to stabilize these shifts so they don't fade after a meditation session or a motivational video. Because the God state, the frequency, where your identity and your desired reality are one, cannot be something you visit. It has to become the home you live in. But before we go there, I want you to pause. Place your hand on your heart. Say quietly, I am rewriting my legacy. Feel how different that vibration is compared to I am stuck. The moment you choose those words, you're not only reprogramming your subconscious, you're sending a new broadcast into the quantum field. And that field is already recording it as part of the story people will remember you by. Now that you understand how every I am statement becomes a seed of your legacy, let's go deeper into what actually stabilizes this frequency so it doesn't flicker for a few minutes and disappear when life gets hard. Because here's the truth. Most people glimpse their God state, but they don't live there. They treat it like a vacation spot, something they visit during meditation or affirmations, but then they return to the old neighborhood of scarcity and doubt. That constant back and forth keeps their legacy unstable, like a radio dial that never fully locks onto a station. The question becomes, how do you make the God state your home? The answer lies in coherence when your mind, your emotions, and your body broadcast the same signal. The HeartMath Institute has shown that when your thoughts and feelings are synchronized, your electromagnetic field becomes thousands of times stronger. That's not poetry, that's physics, okay? When your entire being sends one clear frequency, the quantum field mirrors it back with precision. But coherence doesn't happen by chance. It happens through practice. Breathwork, visualization, and somatic awareness are more than spiritual tools. They are rewiring devices. For example, if you affirm, I am abundant, while your body is tense and your heart is racing with fear, your subconscious will reject it. But if you breathe slowly, calm your nervous system, and then declare, I am abundant, your body begins to associate abundance with safety instead of fear. That's how you retrain your system. Over time, the affirmation stops being words and becomes your truth. Here's where it gets powerful. Once your thoughts, emotions, and physical state align, you enter resonance with the version of yourself who already lives that legacy. Quantum mechanics caused this resonance. It's the tuning fork effect strike. One fork tuned to A, and another fork tuned to the same note begins to vibrate automatically. When you vibrate as the person who already is abundant, loved, healthy, or impactful, the reality carrying that frequency begins to vibrate back. No pushing, no begging, no struggle, just alignment. But I want to open a loop for you here. If it's so simple, why do most people fail to hold this frequency? The answer is subtle, but life-changing. They fail not because the field ignores them, but because they betrayed their identity with micro moments of doubt. One minute they declare, I am powerful. The next minute they whisper, I hope this works. That gap is enough to destabilize the signal. The field doesn't punish them, it just reflects the mixed broadcast. So the real mastery is not in saying it once with intensity, but in repeating it until your subconscious no longer argues. Think of it like lifting weights. The first time feels heavy, awkward, unnatural, but with repetition, your muscles adapt. Identity works the same way. At first, your mind says, this is fake. But if you keep embodying it, walking, breathing, speaking as if it's already true, your system eventually accepts it as fact. And when that happens, the field has no choice but to echo it. Now, let's anchor this with something practical. I call it the 3-step legacy loop. Step 1. Pause. Before you act, react, or speak, give yourself a breath of awareness. That pause creates space to choose a conscious identity rather than falling back into the old one. Step 2. Feel. Don't just think, I am abundant. Drop your shoulders. Breathe deeper. Embody the calmness of someone who already knows abundance is here. Feel the truth in your nervous system. Step 3. Move. From that embodied state, take the next action. Write the email. Make the decision. Have the conversation as if your chosen identity is already fact. This seals the frequency into behavior, and behavior confirms identity. What happens when you repeat this loop day after day? Something extraordinary. The external world begins to reorganize itself around your new state. People respond to you differently. Opportunities arise where there were none. Synchronicities become your new normal, and slowly, your legacy shifts from something accidental to something intentional. But here, as the loop I want you to hold until the next part. The God state is not just about personal manifestation, it's about collective creation. When you stabilize your frequency, you're not only sculpting your own life, you're influencing the field that we all share. And in the final part of this journey, we'll explore how your personal legacy becomes part of humanity's legacy, and why anchoring your frequency now might be the most important gift you can leave for the future. Before we move on, pause again, place your hand on your heart, and declare softly, I am the author of my legacy. Let that vibration ripple outward, 'cause the quantum field is already listening, already recording, already shaping the future chapters of your story. Up until now, we've explored how every I am you declare becomes a seed of your legacy. But here's the revelation most people miss. Your legacy is not just personal, it's collective. Every frequency you stabilize ripples outward into the field we all share. Your words, your emotions, your inner state, they don't stop at the edge of your skin. They enter the field and become part of humanity's energetic library. In generations after you are gone, echoes of your vibration still move through time. Think of it this way. When a single tuning fork vibrates, others nearby begin to resonate. In the same way, when you stabilize the God state, you silently invite others to rise to it as well. People who meet you may not remember every word you spoke, but they will remember how they felt in your presence. That feeling is the broadcast of your frequency. And that broadcast is your true legacy. This is why mastering your inner dialogue isn't just about manifesting a better life for yourself. It's about becoming a living transmission that shapes the lives of everyone who crosses your path. When you walk into a room as I am magnetic, I am whole, I am abundant, you don't need to convince anyone with speeches. The field does the talking for you. Your presence becomes the proof. But here's the paradox. Most people think legacy is built with big, dramatic achievements. In reality, legacy is built in micro moments. What you whisper to yourself in silence, the vibration you hold when no one is watching, the energy you emit in ordinary conversations. Those invisible moments are what the field multiplies into visible results, and that is what the world will remember. Now, let's open the final loop. If your legacy is being sculpted right now, if the field is already recording every I am, what do you want to leave behind? 'Cause whether you're conscious of it or not, your frequency is already writing history. Okay, the only question is, are you choosing it, or are you letting it be chosen for you by old programs? The beautiful truth is this: the God state is not fragile. It's not a candle you have to protect. When you declare, I am from coherence, you don't become the candle, you become the flame. And flames are not afraid of the wind. The only thing that pulls you out of this state is when you start chasing proof. When you look outside and say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the God state lives in the opposite. I see it because I believe it. That is the essence of quantum creation. In physics, an electron doesn't need to be forced into a new state. It simply collapses into form when observed. You are the observer of your own legacy. Every time you say I am, you are collapsing a timeline. If you observe yourself as incomplete, that is the timeline that solidifies. But when you observe yourself as complete, abundant, powerful, there's no room for the old vibration to survive. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while others feel stuck. It's not that the lucky ones know secret techniques, it's that they betray their chosen identity less often. They decide once, they live from that decision, and they refuse to negotiate with doubt. That decision is what the field mirrors back with relentless accuracy. Now, you might still be thinking, but my current reality doesn't match my declaration. And here's where you need to remember. Your current reality is just the echo of past frequencies, old broadcasts still playing out. Don't confuse the echo with the source. Speak from the new frequency until the echo fades. Speak from I am until the field has no choice but to match you. So here's the activation I want you to do right now. In the comments, write one statement that defines the legacy you are choosing. Not what you hope for, not what you wish for, what you are. Declare, I am. Followed by the frequency that feels truest to your heart. Maybe it's I am abundant. Maybe I am love. Maybe I am freedom. Use this as your first act of coherent creation. Your first ripple into the collective field of this community. And if you know someone who has forgotten their own power, someone trapped in old programs of lack or fear, share this video with them. Because sometimes all it takes is hearing one sentence, one vibration, one reminder to recalibrate an entire life. As we close, remember this: your legacy is not something waiting for you at the end of your life. It is something you are writing right now with every breath, every thought, every I am. And once you touch the God state, you cannot unknow it. You can slip, you can forget, but deep inside, the truth will always echo. I am that I am. So take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Say it out loud with me. I am my legacy. Because from this moment on, the universe doesn't have to wonder who you are, and neither do you.